with Arsenal, such a big tournament, and to be quite honest, one that we have always focused on, and it was just a bit strange to be out so early last season. So very, very happy to see them back in it this year.
Arsenal, of course, are yet to start their domestic season. Rangers, however, are already in full flow. They've scored 43 goals in their opening 5 league games without conceding a single one. Their head coach is Jo Potter, who you'll know well from her year in North London as a player as well. But for now, it's the first of 4 games on the way to booking a place in the Champions League, and it sees Rangers make the relatively short trip south to North London to face Arsenal. Victory today will guarantee that spot in Saturday's mini-tournament final against Rosenborg. Whoever wins that is then just 180 minutes away from regular Champions League football this season. Arsenal know exactly what it takes to get there, but much more recently they've known just how much it hurts to miss out. For Rangers, however, it would be uncharted territory. The Light Blues only made their qualifying debut 2 years ago and came within half an hour of reaching the group stage before a Chloe Lacasse-inspired Benfica cruelly ended their European hopes. But they have used the 2 years since to rebuild under an ambitious manager in Jo Potter, and they're out to cause a shock result against the Gunners this evening. Arsenal, of course, are the favourites on paper, but now they need to do their talking on the pitch. So as expected, Jonas Eidevall is able to name a very strong starting 11. Steph Catley and Beth Mead both miss out with minor muscular issues, joining Victoria Pelova on the treatment table. But aside from that, it's pretty much a clean bill of health at Arsenal. And they certainly want to put everything that they've been practicing in pre-season into full effect. We spoke last time out, Emma, about how Jonas Eidevall wanted to use that pre-season, those pre-season games, that really long pre-season schedule to build up to these important matches because the pressure is instantly on you. This is the first test.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you saw what happened last year. They didn't have a great run up to their games, and Paris FC shocked them, but it was all because of that World Cup. And the lack of time. So they've had a good time coming up to this. They've played a lot of games, so this team should be ready.
As you can see there, among the starters, the Champions League winners like Codina and Mariona Caldente, the latter making her competitive Arsenal debut. Lotte Woodman-Moy and Daphne van Domselaar are back on the bench, having recovered from their own respective injuries. Kim Little is, of course, a product of Scottish football. She started out at the Hibs Academy and then made her senior debut in this very competition way back in 2006. That was 2 years before Rangers Women were founded. She played alongside Rangers captain Nicola Doherty for 10 years in the Scotland international team prior to Little retiring from international duty 3 years ago. Jo Potter herself has made 5 changes to the side that hit 10 goals past Dundee on the weekend. Rio Hardy is perhaps the most recognisable of those for English football fans from her time in the Women's Championship with both Durham and Coventry United. Another who has made her name in the second tier of English football is Katie Wilkinson. She has 4 hat-tricks in as many starts to take her tally to 14 goals already this season. Well, North London may now be Jonas Eidevall's home, but Jo Potter has fond memories of playing here as well, especially in this competition. She was in the Birmingham side that beat Emma Byrne and Kim Little's Arsenal 2-0 at the Hive to reach the Champions League semi-final 10 years ago. And making her debut for the Gunners that day, well, that was Leah Williamson, just 1 day after her 17th birthday. Emma, sorry again to make you feel old.
You know, we were talking about fond memories of the Champions League, Max, and then you're bringing up this. But just speaking about Josanne Potter, I think she's done an excellent job here at Rangers. You know, as you said, they're a fairly new team, as in the women's section of the club, and I think she's done excellent. And, you know, just the feedback that I'm hearing, really good coach, players really happy, and they respond really well to her. So looks like she's going places.
And here is Leah Williamson, who of course missed out on the previous qualifying campaign last season due to an ACL injury that she suffered. Spoke about what a huge evening this is, not just for Arsenal, but for herself as well. Someone who grew up watching the likes of Emma play in this competition throughout the years. And here's Frida Mornham immediately inside the first minute, looking to drag Arsenal forwards. Fox making her debut in this competition. Mornham with the delivery. It's away, only as far as Little. Williamson. All Arsenal so far.
You can see Arsenal really trying to find those wide spaces, can't you? You can even Leah Williamson, the centre half, has gone right out to the right-hand side just to stretch them a little bit.
Ford won't be able to keep that one in play. Interesting to see getting forwards pushed out to the right-hand side. We're particularly used to seeing her playing on the left, just in front of Katie McKay, but it does mean that Mariona Caldente can start in a much more natural position for her, Emma.
Yeah, I mean, that's where she played for Barca. That's her natural position. She will drift in. You know, she can play on the right as well. As I said a couple of weeks ago, she can play number 9, she can play 10. So Mariona can play all over the pitch. But I am interested to see how Caitlin Ford does on the right-hand side. She does tend to drift into central areas, overloading that midfield there. As you can see her here in your picture, dropping right in there. Which allows Emily Fox to push forward. So we might see a nice combination on that right-hand side.
Hardy flicks it on into midfield for Kirsty Howard. And this may be a recurring theme for Katie Wilkinson, just trying to chase down the ball and feed off scraps. As mentioned, she is so effective and clinical inside the penalty area, but as Jo Potter spoke about in the build-up to today's game, it's a huge step up to be playing one of the sides in European football with the greatest pedigree, as opposed to playing against some part-time clubs in Scotland. Here is Ford looking for an early delivery. It will be cleared away. That's nice play by Howard. And McLaughlin can go all the way back to her goalkeeper, who only surrenders possession for Fox.
Well, they're going to have to do a little bit better than that. They're under pressure. If they are going to clear the ball, they need to clear their lines.
Cooney Cross helps it out for Mariona, who is not short of pace. She is able to keep that one in play. And Cooney Cross, who opened up an unofficial Arsenal account last time out against Southampton. It's a good delivery in. And it was just about taken away from a combination of Frida Mornham and Alessia Russo by Catherine Hill.
Well, you know, there was no call, or if there was a call, I heard a shout for away. It certainly wasn't a call from the keeper. I'll be asking more of my keeper there to call for that. She can come and collect it. And if Catherine Hill doesn't get a call, she does the right thing just to get it out of the way.
First set piece then for Arsenal inside the opening 5 minutes at Meadow Park. Short they go. Cooney Cross, a better angle for the delivery. Towards Russo. And we'll keep this one alive. Well defended by Leah Eddy, one of the many summer arrivals for Rangers. Let's have a look at that incident here.
Yeah, I think Alessia is getting pulled back a little bit there. She'll be expecting a free kick. Officials didn't see it.
Hardy challenging Cooney Cross, and the pressure is really good there by Rangers. Now with Hay and just trying to get a few more touches, the visitors. Smothering them in possession, and here's Little finding Mornham.
Both teams are trying to do that, aren't they? They're trying to press high, they're trying to regain the ball back quickly. which means it's going to be a quick transitional game, just how we expected it.
She's a former England midfielder, of course, Joanne Potter. She played for Arsenal during the 2003-2004 season. 9 goals in 27 games. Not a bad return at all.
Good player. Left-footed. Those are always difficult to find, aren't they? Master of a free kick. Did you say she scored against me in the Champions League? I don't know. Don't answer that.
We'll leave that one unanswered. Corina. On McCabe.
You can see Rangers pressing in a 3 with Katie Wilkinson, Howitt and Rio Hardy. They're trying to make Arsenal play into the wide areas. They don't want it to go into the middle, and it seems to be working at the moment. This is where Arsenal need to step it up, move the ball nice and quickly, try to get into those wide areas.
Cave punches that one in, looking for Little. Ford will retrieve. Williamson spotted the run. Mariona on that left-hand side. It's a great first touch. The second one was looking for Alessia Russo. Dealt with by Rangers.
It's a great ball from Kim Little as well. She's just moving the ball nice and quickly into those wide areas, as we said. You can see there Olivia McLaughlin just dropping back for Rangers, trying to cover those spaces, but it's a difficult job for her to do.
Again, it's the diagonal searching for Mariona, who's taken it down brilliantly. Shot at the end was a bit wild, but she showed her acceleration there, the Spaniards.
Yeah, she's got a great turn of pace. And that's exactly why she is so good. She's so good at carrying the ball and just changing pace and direction. Just see that cross. It's a great cross in. Very difficult for the goalkeeper, Essen, to deal with.
Corina, of course, is a two-time Champions League winner with Barcelona. Russo gives chase up against Hill. Stuck with a marker there. It's going to be a test of lots of things for Rangers. Of course, you've got the technical step up and playing against an English Women's Super League side, but also there's the fitness, there's the concentration, that level of focus that you need to keep an eye on every single Arsenal player at all times. And not give the ball away in those situations. Here's Morna.
Max, yeah, you can't make these mistakes Champions League level against a team like Arsenal.
Wilkinson, nice chance for her to try to hold up the ball. Arsenal getting bodies around these Rangers players whenever they are in possession. Little doing their best not to concede the foul. Cooney cross. Wilkinson looking for Hardy's run. Zinsberger gave a loud shout, and Williamson was happy to usher that one back.
Very little space back there behind the Arsenal back line for Rangers to put it in there, and they do like to do that. They do like to put it right in there. Rio Hardy will run in there all day. Katie Wilkinson also, but there isn't much space in there, so They might have to try and build before they play those balls.
Joe Potter did mention about how they're going to have to slightly adapt their playing style, and of course, in a domestic league, used to dominating possession and being able to carve out opportunities at will. This is going to be much more of a counter-attacking display, you'd imagine. That one move there showed glimpses of promise on the Scottish side.
Yeah, I mean, there's a completely different level, isn't there, playing in the Scottish Premier League to coming down here and playing a team like Arsenal. You know, the score lines just prove that, what they've been having lately. 10-0 against Dundee, 9-0 against Montrose, 9-0 against Queen's Park. So they do have to change how they play.
Really nice work down the right-hand side by Brogan Hay.
But it's all about these moments here for Rangers. It's all about keep, because we're just over 11. Rangers are doing quite well to stop our central areas. I think Rangers are doing quite well to stop Arsenal doing that. You know, Arsenal like to build. They build through the centre half, through the middle, and then to go out wide. Whereas they just might have to think about going wide first time here. There are spaces there, and the Rangers are playing a 4-3-3. It does mean that the spaces will be in those little half spaces and wide areas like you can see here.
It's better from Arsenal. Also can bring Mariona into play. Kim Little is spare in the middle. There is the Arsenal captain. Bringing McCabe into the act as well. Mornham on the overlap. Russo will continue to battle. Takes it away from McCabe somewhat. Arsenal will still continue this wave of offence. Ford helps it on from Little. Not too much that Russo could do with that one.
No, it's really good play on that left-hand side from Arsenal. Those players excite me, those little triangular players, and Kate McCabe, Kim Little, and Mariona Caldente, because you can see they're trying to play into each other. And what's happening is Mariona does really well to come inside, and Frida Monham is so good at reading where that space is, and she makes really nice runs out there. So those four players on that left-hand side, I think if they can get their combination play right, they're going to be very dangerous.
Really well worked there by Olivia McLaughlin, still just 19 years old. You'll remember her from her time at Aston Villa, I'm sure. Come through the Birmingham City Academy. She was on loan at Rangers last season. She scored in last season's League Cup final for Rangers. And I like her so much in Glasgow that they've signed her permanently. Mariona spots a gap for Monham to try to exploit.
It is really nice play from Arsenal, though. You can see Mariona and Katie playing high in a 2v1, actually. And when the centre-half Rafferty goes out to Mariona, follows her, you can see Russo making that run.
It's the angle delivery towards Ford, who's managed to squeeze it home. And Arsenal have dominated possession. They've been trying to create opportunities, and just like that, out of almost nothing, Caitlin Ford, from a tight angle, is able to give the Gunners a deserved lead.
You spoke about Caitlin Ford on this right-hand side and see what she's going to bring. Well, it's exactly that, coming in at the back post. I just don't know how she actually scored from this angle. It's a deep cross here from Mariona. She looks up, she knows exactly where she wants to put it. It's a great ball. But I'm not really sure what Victoria Essen is doing there, getting beat at that near post. Definitely think eyes are on the goalkeeper in this one.
Well, just 16 minutes in then to a competitive debut for the Gunners. Mariona Caldente has a first assist. Caitlin Ford as well, by the way. Take nothing away from the finish. She did so well to keep that one on target. And maybe another opportunity for the Gunners here to further extend their lead. Indeed, they'll have to settle for a corner kick.
Rangers have to be careful here because this is where the floodgates can open. It is a great ball across. Caitlin Ford does really well. You can just see there that Elizabeth Arnott just losing her player there. But still, I really don't think she should be scoring from that angle.
Lightning does strike twice. Caitlin Ford opened the scoring against Linköping at the stage last season. Also sends that one looping wide.
You'd like to think Arsenal has learnt their lessons there about taking their foot off the pedal. You just can't afford to do it, even with the game earlier with Atletico Madrid and Rosenborg. Atletico scoring, probably took their foot off the pedal a little bit, and Rosenborg scores in the 91st minute and then beats them on penalties. So just need to keep pushing for more goals.
Incredibly, in their 6th game of the season, Rangers have finally conceded their first goal of the season. Rafferty into the channels, trying to turn Katie McKay back towards her own goal. It's going to run quite easily for Manu Zinsberger.
Yeah, that space is just not there. And as you said earlier, Max, if you want to play counter-attacking football, which I'm not sure they're doing, by the way, but you can't play that ball unless you had a turnover and you win the ball back quickly, and Arsenal are higher up the pitch.
Funny cross for Katie McCabe. Well, that Arsenal goal certainly would have settled the nerves among the Arsenal fan base inside the stadium, and those, of course, watching from home as well. But what about the players, Emma? How much last season's disappointment have been playing on their minds, do you think?
Hugely. They were absolutely bitterly disappointed every time I spoke to them, Ben, because I was disappointed. So, and that was even towards the end of the season. They were still talking about the Champions League. You know, that can't happen again. And the club is renowned for getting far in the Champions League stages. I mean, that is why it's considered one of the best in Europe. So it was very disappointing. And they carried it. So I honestly don't think you're going to see anything like that again. And if they are going to go out, it's going to be to a team who genuinely are much better or have played them off the pitch.
Just to put it into context about how out of character it was from the Gunners, last year was the first time in 16 competition entries that they failed to reach at least the quarter-final stage of this competition. Not only that, obviously not even making it to the group stage proper. So they've put that behind them for now. Just about taking those small steps closer to qualifying for another group stage. Rangers, of course, the task at hand, but Rosenborg to follow, and then after that, it's a two-legged game with the draw for that particular knockout fixture taking place on Monday. Still 70 minutes, though, for Rangers to turn this tie on its head and cause an upset.
It's a lovely, lovely turn from Frida Monum here. She's under pressure, but she knows exactly what's coming. Really good turn. It's just a little bit late there from Liedi.
It's on by Hay. Wilkinson challenging with Codina, who uses her experience to back in the right position and then slightly overcooked there in the end.
I know I keep talking about moving the ball quickly, but there are times where you need to slow it down as well and have a touch.
Perhaps maybe not slow it down that much from Rangers goalkeeper Victoria Essen's point of view. Invited a bit of trouble. Tony Cross spotted forward lurking out wide. Here she is now. Fox. Morning. Cadente in a familiar crossing position. And she's managed to get into the box too. Somehow, the ball has stayed out of the Rangers' net. Brave defending. A combination of players. Nicola Doherty, I believe the captain, was in there. What a brilliant ball in.
Yeah, dangerous ball in from Mariona, but in general, just really nice play down Arsenal's left-hand side. They're just creating overloads with Frida Monum drifting out there, and really difficult for Rangers players to get out there and protect. And, you know, they've worked on that. They are dangerous down that left-hand side, but Rangers are going to have to figure it out. They're going to either have to send a centre-half out and create the numbers up, or send one of their midfielders back to help out, because this is going to be happening all game.
They have fielded quite an attacking lineup, Rangers. So perhaps it will be a case of sending a centre-back out there, as there are some very forward-thinking players within that Rangers midfield. Kirsty Howard being one of them, already 4 goals to her name this season. And number 9. Big challenge from Codina on Hardy. Williamson, it's a nice turn by Ford, who was hauled back by McLaughlin, but play will be waved on. Cooney Cross, may fancy it herself.
I mean, can you blame her? After last week, it was on her left foot last week. It's good play, though, again, from Arsenal. Rangers just look like they're slowing down a little bit. That ball into Frida Monum is exactly the ball that Rangers are trying to stop happening through the centre. And that's what happens, isn't it? You're under that much pressure, that hard work. At some stage, you're going to have to drop off a little bit.
Rafferty took a bit of a risk there. I'm not sure it was one that he'll appreciate it, but she'll hopefully usher that one behind for another goal kick. Victoria Esson, the Rangers goalkeeper, is from New Zealand. She actually signed a new 1-year deal before heading off to the Paris Olympics. And quite the summer for her. And now, of course, facing Arsenal, should be hoping it goes a bit better than New Zealand's Olympic campaign, where they finished bottom of their group.
see Codina here not happy. I mean, I'm not sure there was much in that, to be quite honest.
She must have made a very compelling argument to the official on the near side. Rangers back in their defensive shape, seem to be cutting off a few of the channels again, Emma.
Yeah, I think they're being quite disciplined, and in general, it's working okay for them. They knew they were going to be out of possession for most of the game, and it's all about keeping Arsenal to a minimum, to be quite honest. And if they go in at half-time 1-0 down, I don't think that's such a bad result for them, and I think Joe Potter would be quite happy with that.
Mariona almost playing a free role in the Arsenal midfield as she drifts across the pitch just to get that bit more involved. Heavy touch by Ford allowed. Not in there to slam that one down the line. Ria Hardy's giving chase. She's not slow either, but Mariona, sorry, I should say Lea Codina can certainly shift through the gears.
Yeah, Codina has improved so much in that aspect of that ball in behind. We've seen it in the World Cup when Spain played Japan. They're just getting done all the time in that ball behind, and that's where you learn from those mistakes, and I think she's done really well to improve on that.
Doherty playing out for Hardy. It's better from Rangers. They've sensed there's a bit more space on that side with McCabe being dragged across. Mariona is now having to do some defensive work. She's losing out to Brogan Hay, whose ball in was pulled away by Codina at the near post. Can Arsenal spring this one forward a bit faster and perhaps catch Rangers slightly more off guard and out of position? Fox.
Rangers just do really well to get back behind the ball, because, as you said, Max, when they're in possession, and Brogan Hay did really well in that right-hand side to get the ball in, but that's when they're vulnerable, when they lose the ball up in those areas, and then they have to work back to get behind the ball, but they're doing that quite well at the moment.
Mariona, little infield, able to push up that bit more. The space for Kay to drive forward from deep. No delivery towards Rousseau, and it will be tapped in surely by Caitlin Ford and cleared away by Hill. Desperate defending by Rangers, but it was effective. Still the Gunners push forwards. Little, Mariona into the area. Mariona! Hunted down. And Victoria Essen will just use up the vital seconds.
It's a good ball drilled in here from McCabe. Manages to get all the way to the back post to Caitlin Ford. I'm not sure how that didn't go in. So we drilled across here. Arsenal are really enjoying that space down that left-hand side, aren't they? Lee Eddy's just getting pulled out of position there, making Laura Rafferty have come all the way across, just leaving gaps there in the back line.
Given away by Williamson, straight to Wilkinson. Maybe in turn will go back to the hero of that last Arsenal attacking move, the Rangers goalkeeper, Victoria Essen. Little. So in control in the middle of the park. Forward out wide for Fox. Oh, that's loose looking for Kuna Cross, who goes sliding in and winning back possession, and Arsenal on the front foot again. Warnham it was, looking to get in. She's won aside a corner.
It's good pressure from Arsenal. Great tackle from Kearney Cross there to win it back.
Usually, Wilburn Moy is the intended target from these sort of set pieces, but Arsenal aren't short in aerial threats inside the area, and McCabe will deliver it deep. Away by Hill, it's on its way by Wilkinson. Here's Mariona.
Rangers happily allowing Arsenal to play in front of them. It's a good idea. Just sitting back in, trying to defend that space back there, defend their goal.
Good battling on this near side by Liziana. She was actually Manchester United's first ever women's goal scorer 6 years ago during her time playing in the English leagues. Having to do much more defending than her usual attacking role this evening, though.
Yeah, I'm so used to seeing Lizzie Arnott attacking, but mainly down that right-hand side. She does really well to drive with the ball, good delivery of the ball. Definitely being asked to do a more defensive job here on this left-hand side for Rangers.
Morning. This is now to drift in field and get herself back on the ball again. Mariota, can she capitalise on the slip? She's looking for Kim Little, who will keep that one in play. Is Russo there? Arsenal will take the corner.
I was just about to say how well Catherine Hill's done there just to shadow it out, but Kim Little was not going to let that happen. It's tenacious play from Little, keeping it in. And those are the little moments, though, in a game that you need your captain or one of the more experienced players just to change the spark a little bit.
Straightforward delivery by Cooney Cross this time. Russo came crashing in at that far post. And Wilkinson can try to carry the ball out of danger, but every time that they do that, it doesn't seem to be the option too far ahead of them. And they give the possession straight back to the Gunners. Wilkinson perhaps with a late one again on Kadina. Fox. Russo ahead of her. Occupying two defenders. Will give chase again, but Arsenal at the moment just outnumbering them in these central areas. Here's Fox again. Wanted the free kick, nothing given. Williamson can deliver that ball in for Forge, and there's Little. Just wouldn't sit for her under pressure.
No, I think Kirsty Howitt did really well just to put her off a little bit. That's all it needed. Kim Little couldn't get the clean strike.
Kennedy collides with Codina. Little. Nice take on the turn by Cooney Cross. Plenty of space for Caitlin Ford to exploit on this right-hand side. And it's over the head of Essen. Mariona will keep it alive.
Well, as much as I'm enjoying the play from Mariona and Kim Little, there's also nice play in this right-hand side with Cooney Cross, Emily Fox. Caitlin Ford. So, I mean, how do you defend against Arsenal? You don't want them to play through the middle because they like to play through the midfield, but also down in the wide areas, they're so dangerous. And this is the problem that Joe Potter, I'm sure, has had to lose sleep over thinking about.
Arsenal come down the right-hand side again. Mariona hooks it on first time for Uda Mornan. Arsenal playing with a lot more patience at the moment as Mariona can just breeze in behind. Well defended in the end by Rafferty.
It's really good defending, actually, from Rangers. And I think Brogan Hay and Elizabeth Arnott are doing a really good job just getting back there into those wing-back areas, just following their players, because it is a hard job. You're playing up against Mariona Caldente, Katie McCabe's pushing on, Emily Fox on the right, to really try to defend in those wide areas.
He keeps it in play, only at the expense of gifting possession back to Cooney Cross. It's the final 10 minutes of this first half. Still, Caitlin Ford's goal, the only thing that separates these two sides. Here is the Australian, Rousseau. Mariona screaming for the ball on the left-hand side of the penalty area.
The centre back there has to stay central. Just leaving Mariona with a lot of space.
Cooney Cross. Again, there's the wide option. International. Getting onto her right foot, was matched every step of the way again by Brogan Hay, who is quietly and effectively having a really good half.
And she is. There's really good play from her. You know, in that position as a wing back, that she has to get back. She also has to get forward when they do win the ball back.
She was one of the players who was involved in Rangers' last European journey. She actually scored for them at this stage of qualification 2 years ago against Eric Barros. The flagged offside. Forward again, plenty of space to run into. Arnott quick to close down. Good defending. So waste no time from the corner. Fox, time to look up, time to deliver. Oh, it was needed to be watched very carefully by Essen.
It's a really good ball in from Emily Fox there. Essen did well to get something on it, but again, clearance was poor. Just going back to the corners, you know, every single corner, Arsenal have 2 out on the ball and Rangers have only sent 1 out. And it's a 2v1 effectively. So I think in both cases, Arsenal should be doing better in a 2v1 situation. And also, they've done it every time, Rangers. Why are you not sending someone else out there to stop them doing it?
Leona losing out. Here's Wilkinson. Hardy's ahead of her on the right-hand side. There's runners coming forward on the left. Look at McLaughlin bursting forward down the left wing. Instead, the pass is delayed. Here's Hay. In field for Leah Eddy. Howards. Brings it wide for Hay, and then Rafferty over the top. Hay wasn't ready for that ball to run onto, and Arsenal find themselves back in possession quite easily.
Yeah, it's just not on, is it? It's not on, that ball over the top, and Rangers keep trying to do it. Needs another pass, and effectively, I think they've been okay. Like when they've had possession, I think they've built quite well. It hasn't been that often, but they haven't done badly. And there's some nice play from them. But in those situations, it's so crucial that you make the right decision, and it doesn't have to go forward, but you do need to keep possession.
Little continues her run, really well picked out by Frida Mornan, who improvised the pass. So the final 4 minutes of this first half. Is there a chance for Arsenal to double their lead? One back by McLaughlin. And Williamson will nip in ahead of Hardy.
Oh, that could have been really dangerous for Rangers. I thought it was a really good ball up into Caldente, who was taking a little bit higher, more central position there. Sometimes Arsenal might need to look at that, just being a little bit more direct, trying to find the highest player's feet. What they did, just got stuck a little bit under Frida Mornan's feet. But these are the moments, the really key moments in the game where Rangers need to stick together, stay focused, because it is these moments in the game is where you concede.
McCabe. Invited forwards. Wasn't the worst ball. Only one target inside the penalty area to aim for. Rousseau. Not to do much of her work this evening with her back to goal, must be said. Alessia Rousseau not had too much space in behind the Rangers back line to run into.
Yeah, all the space is central, isn't it, for both teams? There's, you know, numbers in the box. I know they've spoken about that when the ball goes wide, can we get numbers in the box? But sometimes it's just a case of making that run across the keeper. You know, you can see Kira Cooney-Cross standing out there. Just make the run, because someone else will pick those balls up on the edge.
First, for tonight's referee to really think about. Okay, you can see the funny side at least.
I think she's grimacing. I don't think she's smiling. It was innocent enough, wasn't it?
Back on her feet again, and Arsenal back on the attack. Ford unable to keep that one in play.
Well, they're finding those spaces down this right-hand side. That switch of play into Caitlin Ford is the one, and Elizabeth Arnott is struggling to get back there at times, especially when the ball is on the other side of the pitch. It might be something that Arsenal might do a little bit more of in the second half.
Howards. Rousseau turns away from Rafferty. The ball is cleared away by Doherty.
Just looked like she's been held back there, Rousseau. Wondering if it comes into the area. Rangers need to be careful about that. tactical fouls and all that.
Well, that is the half-time whistle then. This round one first qualification phase. It's so far so good for Arsenal in that they are a goal ahead thanks to Maitland Ford's header from a tight angle. Of course, the assist coming on a full Arsenal debut for Mariona Caldente. But Rangers have certainly made the Gunners work for it, and they have actually managed to get forward themselves as well, the Scottish side. Still yet to trouble Manu Zinsberger, but there's enough to give them hope going into the interval for Joe Potter to reflect on and try to build upon for the second half. At Meadow Park, at the interval, it's Arsenal 1, Rangers 0. Here are the key moments from that first half, starting with this dangerous delivery from Emily Fox.
Yeah, great ball in. Just poor communication there in the back line of Rangers. But I do think Catherine Hill did the right thing in getting her head in it. But it is a great delivery from Fox. Really difficult for the goalkeeper to come out. Defender did well. Again, from wide areas, those all from wide areas. You can see here on the left-hand side, Mariona Caldente looks up the back post. It's a great ball across. As I said, Arna just lost the player there. Caitlin Ford and right-hand side. Good ball from Mariona.
And then Mariona, who has looked so lively on the left-hand side, just able to breeze past her marker. And it was brave defending in the end. The Rangers captain, Nicola Doherty, I'm not sure how much she knew about it in the end, but it was effective nonetheless.
Yeah, it's good combination play again down that side. Really dangerous play from Mariona. Monum, Kate McCabe, it's a great ball in, and it is one of those ones where somebody normally gets injured, but Rangers defended really well, put themselves on the line, and then this ball driven across here from Kate McCabe, and again, Caitlin Ford in the back post. Good timed run from her. We don't know how that didn't go in.
She is so dangerous, isn't she, Katie McCabe, when picking up pace from deep, and then we know that she's got the quality in the final ball. Unfortunately for just too many players ahead of her.
And that was a great tackle from Laura Rafferty. Just managed to come out off Mariona in the end. But again, it's really promising from Arsenal. Really good attacking play.
So that was all of the action from the first half. If you stick with us, we'll be back to bring you all of the events in the second half. Because at half-time here, it is Arsenal 1, Rangers 0. Very warm welcome back to Meadow Park as we prepare for the second half of this Champions League qualifier between Arsenal and Rangers. The Gunners, of course, leading by a 1-0. So, Joe Potter at the interval has responded with a change of her own. It's 18-year-old Mia Bakuli coming on. She's a Glasgow native, a product as well of the Rangers Academy. So a real success story there for the club as she gets to hit her wits up against some of England's finest. Emma Byrne, as she was for the first half, is alongside me for the second. Emma, what have we learned from that first 45 minutes and what are we expecting to see slightly differently in this second?
Well, I don't think we're going to see much different from Arsenal. I think that the fullbacks are going to try and get even higher. I think what looked like they were asking Caitlin Ford to go a little bit more central so Emily Fox can overlap there, because in actual fact Rangers were playing in a 3 at the back, so the spaces are into those channels. I'm sure that you're going to try and see Arsenal trying to exploit those spaces, whether it's from fullbacks or whether it's from freedom on and running into those spaces. But they're going to have to do it, and the timing has to be right. I'm just speaking about this player that has come on for Rangers, very, very quick player. Macaulay does like to get high. You know, it's difficult in this game. You're asking a lot of your wing backs in these cases.
A real shame to see Brogan Hay leave the field, actually. I thought she was one of the better performers in blue. Was named the club's player of the month 3 times last season, and the club's player of the year as well, having also scored in the League Cup final. So, surging run forward there from wing back, which has dragged Rangers up the field.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little clip from Kate McCabe, who of course is in disagreement there. But it's what you're going to see from Macaulay. Very, very direct player, lots of energy. Perhaps that's Joe Potter's plan of attack, just try and get higher up the pitch to try and keep the likes of Mariona Caldente and Kate McCabe a little bit further back.
Cooney Cross sweeping up defensively, and Zinsberger had to rush her clearance. That one nearly going backwards from the Austrian goalkeeper, but it's been preserved, if only momentarily. The apologetic hand goes up that I'm sure all goalkeepers must practice.
Had plenty of those moments.
Here's Howitz laying it off for Macaulay. Brighter start by Rangers in this second half.
Yes, certainly getting higher up the pitch there. And even Laura Rafferty, who was playing right of the 3 at the back, is higher up supporting there in a full-back position.
Hill. Doherty forced all the way back to Essen in goal. Hardy, good hold-up play to between the ball and Kadina. Unable to hold on to it though, but this is where Rangers do just need to be careful, because they have started so well. They don't want to let any defensive lapses creep in and let Arsenal pick up where they left off. One-touch play by the Gunners through midfield. Here's Mariona. And now Cooney cross. Shot didn't sit for her, but Fox is urged forward and breezes past Arnott. Williamson. Oh, looking for Mornham, who was lurking at the far post. The Rangers defender perhaps did just enough to block her vision of that ball.
Look at all that space in the back post. Leah Williamson delivers a really nice ball into that area. She had so much time, freedom on him to that touch to take it down. It's exactly like we said. You can see Emily Fox getting high and wide there. Caitlin Ford going more central, allowing that to happen.
Foul. It's a very blatant one from McLaughlin. Arsenal get going very quickly from the restart. Ford, who couldn't make Hessen work in the goal.
You just caught Rangers sleeping there a little bit. We'd be asking a little bit more of Ford in those situations.
Here by Doherty. Cooney cross. Mariona, as always, has McCabe scampering forward on the left-hand side. She opted to go the opposite direction, though, and loses out. And now Wilkinson can try to combine with Hardy, but it's happened many times today, too often.
Yeah, and those are the moments, because you've seen how quickly Arsenal want to get up the pitch. You've got both Mariona and Caitlin Ford coming centrally to allow the fullbacks to go forward. And sometimes they're all going forward at the same time. So in that situation, when it does come to Katie Wilkinson for Rangers, so much space in the wide areas to bring her other players into the game. It's really important and crucial that she keeps the ball.
Arnott again. Well placed to clear. And then Eddie showed too much of it to the Arsenal red and whites. Jo Potter also played in 2 Continental Cup finals for Birmingham against Arsenal. I'm sure you remember them well. Came out on top on both occasions.
Oh yeah, of course I remember those ones. We can talk about those ones.
Kim Little also in the squad for those games. Here's McCabe. Russo trying to make herself a target. Here she is now, the England striker. Little looking for Mornham. I'm not sure what Mornham saw.
No, not sure about that one. I think she was asking Kim Little to make that charge and run, but Kimmy doesn't do that. She just sits. She pulls all the strings. You can see Mornham there laughing. I think basically that's what Kim's just told her.
Heavy touch by Eddie, and here is Kim Little surging forward into the box. And the deflection took it just wide. What a vital block it was by Olivia McLaughlin.
Yeah, it's a great run from Kim Little there. Just keep going, just really well. Brings it onto her left, and absolutely crucial touch there from McLaughlin, because the goalkeeper looks like she was struggling. It's a great check back from Kim. McLaughlin as well.
And McCabe to deliver this corner then, out swinging from the left-hand side. All the way through for Russo. Leaves it for Mornham. Russo will nip in there ahead of Leah Eddy. Mariona.
Well, Nicola Doherty does really well to get out there quickly. Rangers defending quite well. They'd be happy that it's just 1-0.
Arnott. Sure, she wanted the pass there from Doherty, but she's done well to escape that one.
She's done really, really well facing her own goal. Just don't want that. Your body shapes all over the place. You definitely don't want that with the pressure Arsenal putting on you, but she did really well.
Wasteful in the end by McLaughlin, who had started this second half very well. Had so much time to pick out a better pass than that one, but she's gifted it straight back to the Gunners, who will try to build their way forwards. Russo, her legs tangled through that very congested midfield area, but the spaces open up now for Ford against McCauley. Now McCabe, Little wants it on the edge of the area. McCabe goes for the cross instead. Doherty away.
You can hear the crowd shout and shoot Kate McCabe. I'm not sure why she didn't, but they're just so dynamic. As you see here, Caitlin Ford back on the left, Mariona gone to the right. We've seen earlier that Emily Fox getting higher, going inside. They can just change positions like that, which makes it extremely difficult. But what I will say about Rangers, they're doing a really good job on Alessia Russo, who's very good at getting the ball with her back to goal. But you can see Catherine Hill is coming in with her, staying tight with her. But when you drag a centre half like that in centrally, you have to release the ball quickly because that space behind you is free. You need somebody running into it. Just holding on to the ball a little bit too much, Russo.
Good cross. Russo now deep into the penalty area. That ball was aimed towards her. Too much power on it in the end.
They want another.
It is a sellout Meadow Park for this one, and you can see the sheer number of Arsenal fans inside that North Bank, making it very loud. A very different atmosphere for these Rangers players to experience. They don't get this in their typical away league fixtures, that's for sure. Crawley's throwing by McCabe. That is the recipient. Cordina wanted to step out of defence for the first time. There's Russo. Fox. The tester there for Kim Little. He manages to dance her way through the players, and there's a chance for Ford! And it's two. 2 goals for Arsenal, 2 goals for Caitlin Ford. Quite brilliantly set up by Kim Little.
I thought Kim had lost it in there. I thought it was the wrong ball into Kim. She had 3 players around her. It's that player again, Caitlin Ford, who looks like she's a player on a mission. She just drifted onto this left-hand side, whereas where we normally see her, but it's really well played here. A little bit lucky as well. Kim Little did very well to find Ford. What a finish from her. You know, I've struggled to see how Rangers are playing at the back there, because sometimes they look like they're in a 4, sometimes a 3, and I think
Well, here's Russo! And surely that takes it right out of Rangers' reach. A quick fire double. 2 goals from Caitlin Ford. And then Alessia Russo smashing home. And the Gunners look to be sailing into Saturday's final.
Yeah, they're in a comfortable position, aren't they? It's a lovely goal from Russo. Again, Ford involved in it. And this is what she's so good at, finding that space and just taking her chances. You can't give her that much space in the box. You're absolutely asking for it. The fans are celebrating. See an Irish jersey there, love that.
Well, Alessia Russo's first Arsenal goals would come in Champions League qualification last season. Those are in the eventual defeat to Paris FC. Much fonder memories this time around. And it could get even better for the Gunners, who have got a taste for it now. Russo trying to barrel their way through. Back in possession, and now there's Fox. Russo the option again. It's not quite away. Good play by Fox. Ford. Digging out the delivery. McCauley didn't get enough of that one. Oh, the second attempt, but she gets there at the third time of asking.
We spoke about it in the first half about Rangers being careful, not, stick to the game plan. They still have to defend here. They don't whitewash, but that's exactly what it can be. It's in the 60th minute, and to be quite honest, it looks like Arsenal haven't even shifted a gear. If they wanted to, they could put their foot down, play quicker. It's going to be difficult for Rangers seeing this game out.
Mariona. Mornham trying to get herself that bit more involved. Arsenal opened up their Champions League qualifying campaign last season with a 3-0 win in Sweden. A 3-0 up, and there's no need for Ford to get involved here. Emily Fox, some intelligent play of her own there, just getting between Ford and the Rangers captain Nicola Doherty.
Well, this is where I think the referee needs to get involved a little bit earlier. You can see the official here on the line putting her flag up earlier, and the ref still hadn't called it. Know your players also, which they're given the profile of the players before the game. If Caitlin Ford, a little bit of a feistier player, just call those a little bit earlier to control it.
Here's another look at how Alessia Russo made it 3. Victoria Essen did get a hand to it, but the sheer amount of power that was on the strike, there was nothing that the Kiwi goalkeeper could do to keep that one from going into their nets.
No, it's a great finish. Again, with that Rangers backline. And
she knows what a big opportunity that was.
yeah, she'd be a little bit disappointed there. Good delivery in. Nobody really marking Williamson, and that is what she is good at. So they aim for Lotte Buben-Moy most time, but Leah's not too bad either in the air.
A ball that works its way all the way back to Anna Zinsberger, who has been a bit of a bystander tonight. I'm sure she won't mind.
Still has to communicate, Max. You don't come off the pitch not doing anything.
Keepers Union in full effect there from Emma Byrne. Arsenal fans in full voice. They'll be back here again on Saturday. And for all of you tuning in from home, you can, of course, catch all of the action from Saturday's game. We're assuming for now, unless anything drastic changes, up against Rosenborg. We'll be broadcasting that one on Arsenal.com and the Arsenal app worldwide for free, just as we have done for this evening's semi-final. Rangers, of course, won't be heading to Scotland straight away. They're still got another game to play as well. Third place playoff, which gets a raise of the eyebrows from Byrne alongside me.
And the reason for this is there a point system, or
It means that they can't return to domestic action right away, so they do have the weekend off from that. I suppose they get another good test up against Atletico Madrid at least. Mariona. There's the space for Russo. Ziana just bullied off the ball by Caitlin Ford. Great ball in, looking for Russo. Held in the end by Victoria Essen.
well, that is the difference right there between the two levels. You know, just winning that ball back there, Caitlin Ford, just so quick to step in. You just don't have the time to be taking touches in there. You have to move the ball at this level. You know, it's quite frightening, really, if you look at Arsenal's bench as well. There's a huge difference in squads, obviously, but Arsenal basically bring in absolute world class here that changes the game as well. But surprised not to see this player start in. Midag, midfielder, very experienced Dutch player.
She's now in her fourth year in Scotland. Former Manchester City and West Ham United player between 2016 and 2020, Tessel Midag. And a number of international caps as well for the Netherlands. She's replaced Nora Rafferty, and then the other change, so Kirsty Howard departs, and Camille Lefay come onto the pitch. So, a fellow American for Emily Fox. And recently joined from Bordeaux just 2 weeks ago, having spent 1 year in France. McLaughlin just to wriggle away from Frida Mornan. The right idea, trying to look for Lefay.
I think Olivia McLaughlin's done quite well in there. Difficult task to work tirelessly in there. She's done okay. She's got on the ball, but I mean, it is about developing and learning from this game, isn't it?
Looks as though Arsenal's Swedish manager is about to bring on two Swedish reinforcements, Stina Blackstenius and Rosa Kafaji. They've just receiving their final instructions, and that is probably not what you want to see as a visiting defender.
Heartbreaking.
McCabe, deep delivery. She knew exactly where she wanted to put it, and as did Caitlin Ford. What a way to seal your hat-trick. Well, when the ball is swirling in the air like that, you're just urging the player to strike it on the volley. And didn't she catch it well?
What a game Caitlin Ford is having. you know, we thought maybe she's getting pushed out to the right-hand side because Mariona's there. She should have been playing the right side the whole time. It's a great ball in from KVK. She knew exactly where she wanted to put it. Ford watched it the whole way. Lovely connection. Difficult for Nicola Doherty there, running back toward her goal. But again, looking at the goalkeeper, can't get beat there. I'm not taking anything away from Ford. Great goal from McCabe.
It's a lovely angle as well, wasn't it? That reverse angle, seeing McCabe just float that one and just watch it every step of the way. They still have made those two changes, so Frida Morna and Alessia Russo get themselves a well-earned break for the final 20 minutes of this game. Something new for Rangers defenders to contend with now. The tiring Rangers defenders, we should say. It's been a very, very big shift that these players have put in. And now you've got the fresh legs, the creativity, and the tireless work rates of both Kabaji and Blackstenius to deal with.
The link-up play between those two is something to watch, really. I thought they were excellent when they came on against Southampton, and I thought they've been excellent for Sweden. So, it's so difficult. Champions League is like that. You have to step up the level. For a team like Rangers coming into it, don't expect really to get anything here, but you expect to progress and to learn from it, and that is what Champions League is about. You can't just go into it. It takes a good 3 years for you to realize what you need from it, and then the rest to develop and get to that level. Just ask Barca. They came in very low level. I was telling you at halftime we beat them on aggregate something like 7-1 or something, and now look at them.
It's about learning, adapting. Learning experience again, certainly against Wolfsburg, as Arsenal have become very accustomed with in recent years, and then readapting and going once more. Arsenal have strengthened. Here is Kabaji looking to the middle. It was Mariona who got forward, and Blackstenius with the shot on the turn straight at Victoria Essen.
Well, it's all about damage limitation now for Rangers. That looked like a handball to me. A lot easier now to play through the middle, isn't it? Rangers dropping off a little bit, leaving Katie Wilkinson up there on her own.
Almost inviting the pressure from the Gunners. In this second half, haven't needed a second invitation. Cooney cross. Here's Macaulay, who has been a bright spark since coming on at the interval. To lead the pass, Wilkinson lost quite a lot of to keep that one in play, and Sinsberger will wave it behind for a goal kick.
Well, she's definitely brought energy, Coley, hasn't she? Mariona wouldn't be her strongest skills header, but it did look like a handball, didn't it? Grazed the hand. Nobody called for it, though.
I think at 4-0 up. The story may have been slightly different if it was a bit closer. Here's Blackstenius, leaping in field. Bringing Emily Fox into play. Williamson, another cross from deep. Mariona unable to redirect that one goalwards.
We just spoke about Mariona's heading capabilities. We'll let her off because she's just so good at everything else. But that's been a bit of a theme, hasn't it? That deep cross into the back post, finding those areas. As I said before, whether Rangers are playing in a 4 and a 3 a lot of times, they were leaving those spaces empty a lot. I think we've seen it with Caitlin Ford's second goal, also the ball in from Kim Little. Just a bit narrow, Rangers, and just leaving themselves a little bit open in those wide back post areas.
If you have enjoyed watching the Arsenal in the Champions League, there is the opportunity to watch them in the Women's Super League as well, and that finally comes back for the new season. Sunday, September the 22nd. It's a 12:30 kickoff, and it's at Emirates Stadium. Tickets still available. Just head to arsenal.com for further information there, and we hope to see you there for the opening day of the season. And that's a huge match it will be as well. For now, though, the Gunners still in European action. They need to just finish off this match against Rangers. And then it's into the final against Rosenborg. So McCabe lines up the effort. That one going to cause Tora Essen any trouble. Spoken about it before. Following Saturday's game, it then goes into a two-legged playoff. And then should Arsenal get through that 180 minutes of football, they're in the Champions League group stage proper once more. Quite the pre-season before the domestic campaign begins, but I suppose it does keep the Gunners sharp, and maybe even gives them the advantage in some ways over Manchester City going into that opening day clash.
I thoroughly believe that. And as a player, when I played, I would have preferred that, having these competitive games, because no matter what you say, pre-season friendlies are not the same as playing competitive games. There's not that pressure on you, and you do relax a little bit in them, unless you're playing against like a rival, which isn't very common. But yeah, I do think this is going to be helpful for Arsenal. I think it was their downfall last season. It took them, to get beaten in the first game of the season by Liverpool at home at the Emirates. It just was not a good start after what happened in the Champions League. And, these things hurt, which help you in the end.
We've certainly exercised many of those demons this evening. Just about getting through this one and then making sure that they refocus, they refresh, and then they're ready to go again on the weekend. Okay, much more central now. Cooney cross. Little acres of space on the edge of the penalty area. And Mariona to deliver. Blackstenius was climbing. It's the second time she's been involved since coming on, Stina Blackstenius.
Yeah, it's just good play from Arsenal. Just getting a little bit more space and time on the ball. It's natural how hard Rangers have worked, but Blackstenius just got caught a little bit underneath it, didn't she?
Another two changes then for Arsenal. So Emily Fox replaced by now Ravine Reuter. And it's Leah Belty back on the pitch in place of Kyra Cooney-Cross. Leah Belty, 13 years now after she made her Women's Champions League debut. And then she was a box-to-box midfielder. Can't bet against her trying her luck to get forward. She's never scored in the Champions League for the Gunners. Did score twice for Potsdam, but again, playing much more attacking.
What a player she is, and what a squad. I'm just looking at all these players coming on. There's definitely no excuses this season for the lack of quality. Leah Volti, when she came on 2 games ago, I thought she was excellent, and she was playing a little bit higher. She wasn't playing in that real sitting, I was going to use a Spanish word there, sitting defensive midfielder role. She was getting higher, and her her actual combination play, link-up play was really good. So I can understand the box-to-box now.
I don't think I'm alone in saying I'd love to hear the Spanish word for it.
Bigote. I think.
Learn something every day. Well, not convinced anymore.
No, it is. It is. Just a holding midfielder, right? It just sounds way better in Spanish.
Does sound much nicer. Here's Codina. Rangers having to do a lot of switching from left to right, forward and back. Arsenal dominating possession now, 4 goals to the good. Mariona. Extenius. Against Doherty.
Just so difficult for Rangers to play 90 minutes this way without the ball, just chasing shadows, really. I think they've done okay trying to get Arsenal to play into wide areas, but it is all about these moments here, keeping possession when they win it back. Just having a bit of quality on the ball here.
It's much better on the Scottish side. McCauley showing a bit too much of it to McCabe. And now she has a long way to trudge back on this near side. So not committing too many players forward at this late stage. Ford already on a hat-trick. Unable to pick out Blackstenius. Well defended by Catherine Hill.
Well, she's complaining that was a push from Blackstenius, and to be fair to her, it did look like that a little bit. Whether the ball had gone out before that, not sure. It did come off Hill, and she's complaining that she got pushed onto the ball. I'd expect Arsenal to play short here. Just look at the distance between the first Rangers player and the post.
I pointed out earlier, like it's been the same every time, hasn't it? Again, Arsenal able to double up, and Little with a better angle for the delivery. Wilson went for the punch. Mariona didn't need to be asked twice to take that one on the volley. Someone with her technical quality will be disappointed that she wasn't able to make the keeper work. McCauley. And back by McCabe. Stenius. McCabe and Velty getting their passing stats up between them.
Yeah, it's like that warm-up rondo, and you just have to count the passes. There's no pressure on them, so they don't need to move it.
Hill again having to be alert. Stenius turns quite unpredictably.
It's very sharp, Blackstenius. It's fit. It's ready to go.
Seven goals and 7 assists for 3 different Champions League clubs. Stina Blackstenius, decent record in the competition. Three in 6 in the qualifying stage as well. And she had a bit more gloss to this scoreline. McCabe delivers. Mariona heads back in. Stenius was climbing forwards in there too. Enough players back on the line for Rangers to defend that one, but it's McCabe who went down inside the area, and it will be an Arsenal penalty. Well, they kept up the pressure, and McCabe showed off her quick feet as well. The Gunners have a chance for a 5th goal.
It was a bit messy from the start, wasn't it? Couldn't clear their lines, Rangers, and really good footwork from Katie McCabe there. Just sloppy. A little bit sloppy from the start. You can see here when it comes out to McCabe, the edge of the area. It's tired tackles, and real Hardy there, just clipping her a little bit. Katie's a clever player as well.
Rangers do respond with a change of their own. Laura Berry, the 17-year-old who scored a hat-trick at the weekend, comes on. It will be too little too late, but she still gets a taste of Champions League football. And for Kim Little, a chance of redemption. At this stage last season, she did uncharacteristically miss a penalty against Inchirping. She's up against Victoria Essen here. Little to make it 5. Right into the roof of the net. And the Arsenal captain has something to celebrate. 5-0 on the night. Arsenal have been dominant, and they've been clinical in this second half as well. The 4th goal that they've scored since the restart.
Yeah, no, when in doubt, we're not entirely sure. Confidence is not 100%. Hit it with pace. Hit it with pace and hit it high. And, you know, that's exactly what Kim was doing there. And it's a great goal for her to build up her confidence.
Catherine Cool has just joined the action as well for the final 5 minutes or so. Looks like she's going to slot in on the left side of the Arsenal attack, coming on for Mariona Caldente.
So many options, IWL, to bring on different types of players. You look, Blackstenius is, well, Blackstenius, Russo, not too different, but Blackstenius will make those runs into those channels. So if you're playing against a team with high press that leaves that space behind, Blackstenius is the player for you. And then Russo's so good at coming in to the midfield area, back to goal, and keeping the ball and laying off and linking up with players. And now you've got Kavaji as well in the mix, who's so creative in that number 10 role. And Arsenal do need a very creative 10 in the system they play. So they've got their 2 holding midfielders, and that 3rd midfielder a little bit higher up has to be the one that creates and pulls the strings.
He's cool. Looking for Kavaji. And just smuggle it clear with Hardy, looking for Berry. Berry trying to twist and turn her way out of trouble. There's a fellow teenager into play, and Macaulay. Should point out for Kim Little, she is Arsenal's leading goal scorer in the Women's Champions League. That's goal number 43 for her. There aren't many who have scored more. And in terms of appearances, well, only Emma Byrne next to me has made more appearances for the Gunners.
How far is she behind?
in this competition, at least. I think you've got another good 20-odd games or so to cling on to that record for.
I'm safe for the moment.
Extenius trying to duck in field. Wins Arsenal a corner. "77 appearances for you." Find out Kim Little's in a second. It's the most nervous you've been all evening.
I would have just Googled it myself after.
Kept in by Wienreuter. Gary's behind that one. Arsenal. It's another wave of attack. Wienreuter into the penalty area. And there's Kafaji! And Ford gets her fourth. Well, when things are falling for you, they really do fall for you. And Caitlin Ford, with just a minute remaining on the clock, makes it a night to remember.
Well, that smile says it all, doesn't it? But it's great play from Wienreuter on the right-hand side. Really lovely feet from her. Manages to get Kafaji, and then it's actually a decent save from Essen. Doesn't manage to parry it into a safe zone. That's where Caitlin Ford's in the right place at the right time. She has definitely proven a point here this evening. You cannot drop me.
Goal number 45 in Arsenal red and white for Caitlin Ford. Very pleasing for club statisticians, I'm sure, that she's rounded it up to the nearest 5 in one night. Might be a chance for another one. Kafaji spots the keeper off her line and wasn't too far away.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything else from Kafaji. She's really shown what type of player she is, and she's willing to make those risks. She's confident enough, a new player to come on and do that. Shows the confidence.
Well, it was comprehensive in the end. They had to battle in the first half, the Gunners. It was Caitlin Ford who was the difference maker by half-time. But then when the second half got started again, well, Arsenal just started rattling in the goals. Ford got 4 in total. Kim Little also on target, as was Alessia Russo, as the Gunners march into Saturday's showdown with Rosenborg, full of momentum. Jonas Eidevall will be a happy man. I think the Ford, you can just see how happy she is. Emma Byrne alongside me. The big positives to take from tonight's game.
Oh yeah, huge positives. I think this is one of the best games I've seen Arsenal play in a long time. They look comfortable, they build very well, they're confident, they look like they have direction. They've got every position covered out there and twice over, and just look like a team that they're on a mission. So, you know, I'm excited about this season for Arsenal.
6 goals to nil. It was emphatic in the end and entertaining, that's for sure. The Gunners spreading the goals around, but Caitlin Ford will be more than happy with her performance. Of course, Arsenal back in action on Saturday. You can join us here live on Arsenal.com and the Arsenal app as they take another step closer to Champions League group stage qualification. It finishes here at Meadow Park. Arsenal 6, Rangers 0.